Welcome to day 34 of How to Automate Your Law Firm in 90 Days. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. We are continuing to enhance and build upon our legal assistant agent. In this video, I will be going step by step, creating a calendar agent that we can connect to our main agent, which is the legal assistant agent. Let's dive in. Here we are in N8N, and this is our legal assistant agent. I am going to click over, and I've already named our calendar agent so that I can go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is to create a trigger. And remember, the trigger is the what? Party starter. No actions happen unless there is a trigger, okay? For this one, since we are connecting it to our legal assistant agent, what we need to click is when executed by another workflow. In here for my parameters, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click down and choose accept all data. Okay. So I'll go back. Let me go ahead and set some mock data up. Now, if you watch my video about our contacts agent, and I'll link it up top, I had an error because I mistakenly deleted one of the braces and brackets, and it was saying, Shay, girl, what are you doing? All right, so let's go and we're going to delete this. And what I'm doing is just setting up some sample query so that I can test the workflow within the agent before we connect it to the legal assistant agent, okay? So the name I'm going to choose is query. One of the things that I mentioned before is anytime there is any information that is sent out or request sent out from the main agent, it is going to be called the query. And so that's why I'm naming it. And the first thing we're going to do, let's see, we're going to create an event on our calendar. And here, let me show you in my calendar. I'm going to bring it over a little bit more. Here is our calendar, and there's nothing on it right now except the holidays. But for my first test information, I'm going to put create a lunch date with my client, Queen Makita. And here in the legal assistant, you see that here is an entry that I put in. I'm going to enter in, and this is just for the test. This is actually one of mine, the emails that I have for tests, creating information. Okay. Create a lunch date with my client, Queen Makita, on, let's say, February 27th at 1 p.m. Okay. So now that I have my test data, what I'm going to do is I am going to connect an agent. In order to do that, I'm going to click on Advanced AI, and then I'm going to click AI Agent. Okay. So for the source, what I'm going to put, and it is a tools agent, you see right here, it says connected to chat trigger. And the reason that it's red is because we didn't actually connect it to the chat. What we are doing is automatically setting it up so that it can connect to our legal assistant agent. So what I'm going to do for source for prompt, I'm going to click down and I'm going to choose define below, and then I'm going to drag my query. Okay. For the add option, I am going to put in a system message just so that it will know what the current date and time is. I click that and it's not fixed. What I need to do is go to expression. Let me open that up. And I'm going to say the current date and time is, and then I'm going to put in curly brace, and I'm going to choose the $ now. And you see here, it'll have the time in there. And then I'm going to put dot T. Okay. And I wanted to, I'm going to choose to string and see it has, you'll see it's February 25th, 2025. And then it has the date. Okay. Leaving that there. So I'm going to go out of here. I'm going to go back to my canvas. Now what I need to do is to add a chat model. And I am adding OpenAI chat model. And you see all of the different large language models or LLMs that you could use. I'm familiar with ChatGPT, which is OpenAI is the maker of ChatGPT. So that's what I'm going to choose for my LLM. My credential has already been connected. That's why you see it says OpenAI account. And the model that I'm going to use is GPT-4o Mini. Okay. So now I'm going to go out of that. Let's go it over a little bit. Okay, so the first tool we said is that we are going to choose, and the calendar app that I'm using is Google. Okay, so I'm going to type in Google Calendar. All right, so for the tool description, instead of set automatically, and I do want to mention that my credential has already been created. Now, if you need assistance with how to create your credentials and connect into N8N, any of your Google products, please leave a description in the box and I will take care of that for you. Okay. I'll show you step by step. And it can be tricky because you have to go into Google Cloud to do it. Okay. For the tool description, I'm going to choose set manually. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to drag my query over. Okay. And you see right here, it says create a launch date with my client, Queen Makita. For the event source, we're going to leave it still as event. And our operation is create. The calendar we're going to use is my iamshayjackson@gmail.com. And for the start and end date, what I'm going to do is over here, this little star, these stars, it says let model define this parameter, which is good because what it's going to do is look at the query that we have requested, the information we requested, which is the query, and it's going to take that information. So I want the model to choose that. Okay. We're going to do the same thing for the end. Use default reminders. Yes. So for additional fields, oh, there's one thing. You see this box right here? This node will use the time zone set in N8N settings, but you can override this in the workflow settings. And what I did was I went to settings. I am in Central Standard Time, and I'll show you where you can change it to make sure that you are operating in your time zone. Okay. For the additional fields, I'm going to add a field where I am able to add attendees. And again, because remember, I'm inviting Queen Makita. So I'm going to let the model define that. And the other field that I'm going to add is just a summary so that I can have a summary of that event. All right. And that is it for that. I'm going to go out. I'm going to save it. And let me show you right quick. Right here in settings, this is where you can find how to change your defaults. Okay, you see time zone. The default is Chicago because I made it that. It's the drop down. You just choose what your time zone is depending on where you are. Oh, there's something else that I want to do. Let me go in and I want to rename it to create event. Okay. Now we're going to test our workflow. And let's see if we have success. It looks like we did. I have scheduled a lunch date with Queen Makita on February 27th at 1 p.m. Here are the details, and it also gives a link, which is pretty cool as well. And here you see, that's cute. I'm going to see that part. You see, here is our lunch date with Queen Makita, Thursday, February 27th, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And also you see here the email has been added as well. So we know that this works. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our calendar agent. Now that we know that that is successful, the next thing that we want to do is to be able to get our events. Okay. So I'm going to type in Google Calendar again. And I'm going to do the same thing. So for the tool description, instead of automatically, I'm going to set it to manually. And I'm going to bring the query over. For the event, for the resource, it will be event. For the operation, we are going to choose get many, retrieve many events from a calendar. And the calendar I'm going to choose is iamshayjackson@gmail.com. We do want to return all. And for the after and before, again, because we are giving the model information, we want to allow it to set those parameters. Okay. And for our option, there is nothing that I want here that I want to add. Okay. Now that we've done that, I need to go back to my node, and you guys see, I forgot to rename it once again. Okay. Get events. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to my node and I'm going to change my test data. And I'm going to put get all events on February 27th. Or list all events on February 27th. Okay, I'm going to go out, test my workflow. It should go to this node to get the event. And let's see what it says. On February 27th, there is one scheduled event, lunch date with Queen Makita. Now, I want to try something because when I was testing this, one of the things that I saw was it didn't pick up if I added it as opposed to like using an API call to create the event. If I just added it manually without outside of N8N, it was like it couldn't capture it. So let's try that because, at the end of the day, y'all will look at this video and be like, great. And you add some things and you try to get your events and you'll be like, Shay, you told me that this could get all my events and it can't. So I just want to be transparent. So let's see. We're going to say February 28th. We can do all day. N8N event. Oh, we're going to say test event. Okay. And let's see if it will grab this event. Okay, I'm going to go back to my trigger and I'm going to say list all events on February 28th. And I just want to see, we can see that if there are events we add using our automation tool, which is what N8N it is, an incredible automation tool. But we want to see that if we add events, because we want everything on our calendar, correct? Let's see if it will grab our test event. Okay, list events. And let me make sure I put it on February 28th. So let's go out and do the test workflow to see what happens. Okay. Oh, it did capture it. So it was me. It wasn't Google. It was me. Okay, very good. So we see that it did, and maybe I was too early. One of the things that I will say, I think this is a good example, with automations, I'm so excited that it's like I feel like a kid that's just ready for something to happen right now, which is so fast. Don't get me wrong, but I need to just wait a moment because if it doesn't happen like immediately when I type something in and then I go over there and I'm like, it's something wrong with it, but that's not true. What it is, I have to be patient. Be patient, young Lotus. Okay. So if it doesn't work and you don't get any errors, you see how we had all of the check marks, just, be patient, let it do its thing and then try again. Because when I was testing it the first time, y'all, literally I had like 4 or 5 events per date I was using just because I wasn't patient. Okay? Great. So now that let's change this to calendar agent. Now that we have added create event, get events, we want to add update. Let's see if we can update an event. Okay. What did I do? I don't know. Why didn't it just give me the Google Calendar? Okay, there we go. All right. So again, tool description, set manually. We're going to drag our query into our description. We're going to leave it the resource as event. For the operation, we are going to choose update and event. Okay. The calendar we're going to use again is I am Shay Jackson. For the event ID, I'm going to choose the stars. I'm going to let the model define the parameters. Do I want to use default reminders? I'll leave that on. And for updates, we'll choose attendees. Let me see. Oh, no, because I'm just updating it. Let me exit out of there. I got too excited. All right. That is that. Let me go. And let me change the name to update event. Okay. Oh, and I put the underscore. That's okay. Let's test our workflow. Oh, we got to go to our trigger. So what we're going to do is, let's see what time we had our lunch. We're going to say, let's change our lunch date with Queen Makita from 1 p.m. to 11 a.m. Okay. Please change the lunch date with Queen Makita on February 27th. Let me just make sure. Okay. To 11 a.m. On on February 27th from 1 p.m. to 11 a.m. Oh, let's do 11:30 a.m. Okay, now that I have my test data in, let's rev up our workflow. Okay, you see it went to and I'm going to stop it because for some reason you see it keeps going back and forth and it shouldn't. Let's go to our calendar and refresh it. It's still showing lunch date with Queen Makita. So let me go back. So instead of update, let me put, please update lunch with Queen Makita on February 27th to 11:30 a.m. Let's see if that works. Because it's an agent, and so things that we explain it again, that is why it's good to kind of have it's called man in the middle to test things. Let's look. Update it. You got the event updated it. Okay, so now, and it seems like it's just wording. So let's go back. The lunch date with Queen Makita has been successfully updated on February 27th at 11:30 a.m. So let's refresh. And and see, I might need to take some time. So let me look. Oh, and it didn't give a link. So I'm gonna wait and see, because you see how I hurry up and clicked over and was like, it should be there, but it's not. It still shows 1 p.m. So I'm going to go back because maybe I just need to give it some time, which is odd. It did say that it changed it. It did say that it changed it to 11:30 a.m. Feel free to ask. Okay, so let me give it time and see. And I want this to show you as the demo that it's not quick, and I don't know why it hasn't changed it. Okay. I keep going to the main agent. All right, let's go back and let's add another tool. And this one I'm going to add is just to show, because when I did it, it didn't work, but let's see. Okay, so instead of set automatically, we're going to put set manually. And then we're going to add our query. Event, our operation, we're going to choose delete an event, and we're going to see if it deletes it. The event ID will allow the model to tell us. So now let's go back. I'm going to go back to my trigger, and I'm going to say delete the lunch date with Queen Makita on February 27th. So we're going to try to delete it. Before we get rid of it, let's see if it changed it to 11:30. And it didn't, and I'm not sure why it didn't. But I'll try that one again. But let's see if the delete works. Okay. We change the date to delete event. And when I chose delete event and the last time when I tested it, what it did as opposed to going to this node, it went to search, like it went to get the event. And then for update, what it did was it just deleted it as opposed to using the delete node. Now, again, it may have been me. Let me see. Okay, I was seeing if it did the, and it shows updated. Hmm. Okay, let's go back. Y'all know I'll start troubleshooting in a minute. All right, let's test our workflow and let's see if it goes to delete event. Let's look again at our trigger, delete the lunch date with Queen Makita on February 27th. It's February 27th. Yes. Let's see what it does. It gets the event. Oh, it went to delete event. See, it's Shay Jackson. And look, it's gone. Patience. Okay. So we do see that the delete feature does work. Let me try something else because you know I'm bothered by the update event. So let's create an event again. Create a lunch date with Don Perry. Name at example.com on, let's say, February 28th. And I was pausing because I'm curious to see what it's going to do, because you see we have our N8N test event. That's for February 28th. Let's see. Create a lunch date. Okay. We having a lot of lunch dates, aren't we? I mean, as an attorney, that might be the life. I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back. Okay, let's test our workflow. And it's going to create the event. And it did create the lunch date with Don Perry on the 28th. Okay. So now let's see if what it'll do when I say update. Now, this is what I think may have happened. Maybe not. I was thinking maybe because memory wasn't involved. I'm trying to troubleshoot while I'm recording and demonstrating the agent, but I was trying to figure out why it didn't update the event. Okay, so let's go and we're gonna say update lunch date with Don Perry on February 28th to, let's say he couldn't make it. He needs it early because he has to be in court. So we're going to say 11:30, okay? And let's see if it updates it. We're going to test our workflow. You got the event, update, okay. The lunch date has been updated. Let's see. And it did not do it. I'm not sure why. Because when I tested it before, it did. Let me go back in. Set manually. Created. Let me see. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add our calendar agent to our legal assistant agent. I'm not sure why I was having issues with update event, but what I did was just clear the calendar and we are going to test it. Maybe the issue has been worked out, or I'm not sure, but let's dive in. So, in order to do that, the first thing I did was go to my legal assistant and I added a calendar management description. For calendar management, use the calendar agent tool, which enables users to schedule, update, and track appointments seamlessly. Schedule, and I want to put delete and track appointments seamlessly. So that's that. I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to click save. So now, in order to add my calendar agent, I need to create a tool. So what I did was click this plus button, and I'm going to go over to Call N8N Workflow Tool. That is how I am able to connect my calendar agent and all of the other agents that I've created and I will be creating in order to have them work with the legal assistant agent. The name of the tool, we're going to name it exactly as we have with for this agent. So it'll be calendar agent. And description, call this tool to create, update, delete, and get events. Okay. Source is database, and for my workflow, I am going to choose calendar agent. And let me make sure that I've saved it. I didn't. I've saved it, and now I'm going to go back, and I forgot to change the name of it. Now I need to organize my tools a little bit more. Here, I need to change it to calendar agent. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. So now we are going to do a demo of our calendar agent using our using Telegram. Create a client intake meeting with Tina Brown on Friday, February 28th at 10:30 a.m. Please send a meeting invite as well. So Tina Brown is here in our legal assistant agent. Here's Tina Brown's email. So what I wanted to do, even though she's professional, what I wanted to do is look for her email, go into our contacts, look for her email, and send her an email as well. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it goes to calendar agent, email agent. Okay. The email has been successfully sent to Tina Brown for the client intake meeting scheduled for Friday, February 28, 2025 at 10:30. However, there was an issue adding the event to the calendar, and I don't know why. So, what I'm going to do, let's go. Oh, and here, oh, here it is. It has been scheduled. Let's go back and let's see if there's an issue with our calendar agent. So let me go back and I put create a launch date with Don Perry on February 27th. Oh, at 11:30. I definitely don't want to have lunch at 11:30 p.m. So let's look and see why there's an issue with the create event. So because it is showing that there's an issue in our main legal assistant, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the calendar agent to see if I'm having the same issues, which I didn't before, so I'm not sure what's going on. Test workflow. Ah, and there is an issue. Let's look. Please check your parameters. Okay, so let me see. It seems like it has something to do. Oh, look, here, right here, I'm going to ask the assistant to see if it can help us. Um, oh, here's the ask the assistant. It's analyzing the error, which is great. Okay, so it's saying for the attendees, I have defined automatically by the model. So let's take this off and not have any, not have anything for that. Thank you, AI assistant. You're awesome. Okay, now let me go back, stop it, save, and let's run the test workflow again. Okay. And there it is. Now it's saying that there's not a title. Let's go back because it shouldn't say that. Create a launch date with, so what I might need to do is let me go back. What did it say? So see, it didn't have any information. It's correct for, I said for 11:30, right? I did. So let's go back and let's add summary to see if that would help. Let's see. Okay, we're going to run the same data again, the event with Don Perry. So let's delete this. Okay, we don't have anything. And we're going to test our workflow. I have scheduled lunch date, but it didn't come up. Oh, there it is. It popped up while we were talking. You see how I gotta be patient. So here, lunch date with Don Perry. Okay, very good. But the only thing, did I put his email? Oh, I might not have. I might not have put his email. Let me just make sure. Okay, I did. I put name at example.com, but it did not put his email because I don't have the attendees. Now, let me go back. I did see, let me see if there's a where you can schedule it with attendees because that's where I'm glad we found the glitch. Create, no, and you have to have the attendees. Let's delete that. Okay, now that that's working, let me go back. Stop. Okay. Now let's go back to our main agent and we're going to try it again. All right. We're going to schedule something with Tina. Maybe that fixed the issue. Okay, the client intake meeting with Tina Brown has been successfully scheduled for Wednesday, February 26th from 10:30 to 11:30. The email invite has also been sent to Tina Brown at XYZ. So let's see if it's there. Here it is, client intake meeting with Tina Brown. Awesome. So where the issue seemed to have, I don't know, where the issue is or where the issue was, it had to do with when I was creating the event, I had attendees and it seemed like there was an issue right here with that parameter. But that's okay because I was still able to create the event. Let me go in and let me see if it added her email. It didn't add her email, but let's go back. And I think it did send it to her again. I did want to mention something else. You guys see all of the tests that I've been doing? Okay, let me on the contacts oh no, that's not it. Oh, here it is. So on the context video, one of the things that, and this shows that I tried to rush too quick. I created a contact where I wanted to send an email to Quinn Gwen, and when I went to the email, it didn't show. So I was saying I didn't know why it didn't create the email. It actually did. I just was going too fast. Okay, but here that is. All right. So now what we're going to do, now that we know create works, we're going to go back to our agent and we are going to update. We want to update the event with Tina from 10:30 to 1:30. Let's see if we can do that. Update the client intake meeting with Tina Brown to let's say 1 p.m. Went to the calendar agent. The client intake meeting with Tina Brown has been successfully updated. Let's see. I might be going too quick. Hold on. And it actually gave a link. So let me take a look at that link to see why I can't see it. Is it a Google link? Okay. Let's go to our calendar. Okay, 1 p.m. client intake meeting with Tina Brown. So now let's see if we can get all of our events for, let's say, February 27th. Oh, let's see. I was going to use my phone for that, but I'll use it for the delete. List all events for February 27th. And it should come up with our lunch with Don Perry, because that's what I have right here. Lunch with Don Perry. Okay. All right. On February 27th, there's one scheduled event. Awesome. Now, let's see if we can delete it, because I want to clear my calendar for February 27th. Let's use the audio to see if we can make that happen. Okay, let's go down. Test workflow. And we see we have it right here. I'm going to say for the 26th. On the 27th. All right. So let's test workflow. Can you please delete all events for February 27th? Went to the calendar agent. Okay.
All events on February 27th, 2025 have been successfully deleted.
She sounds so enthusiastic. Let's see. And there it is, gone. Wonderful. This has been a great video, because one of the things that you were able to see is, oh, let me see if it sent the thing that it deleted it. Oh, no, it didn't. I thought it sent saying that the lunch was deleted. I'm glad that you were able to see me troubleshoot the create event for the calendar agent. Again, it seemed like the events wouldn't show up because of the parameters, which is very light to me, because I am allowing the model to define those parameters, which is this is a very new and improved feature that N8N has. So just imagine, and I'm saying new and improved, I think maybe over the past couple of weeks, that you were able to click the star and have the agent define, the model define it for you. So just imagine 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, it will be amazing. But just going through and being able for you to see that there was an error and how I worked through that error. Again, amazing. So this has been the demonstration step by step of creating a calendar agent for our legal assistant agent. If you have any questions about AI automations or N8N, I will have a link in the description box where you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me. I am Shay Jackson, your AI automation specialist. Have a wonderful day.